Oh, hey, wild things. Welcome to my channel. My name is Javon, and here on my channel, I share my journey and document my radically wild life here in the paradise that is Boriken. And today, I would like to talk about being 1 year sober, baby, from cannabis. And in making this video, sharing my story, I hope someone out there watching could find some inspiration in my words, because I've met many people who tell me they would like to quit. So if you are in that realm, this video is for you, baby. I'm sure many people who know me would find it shocking that I quit smoking, as I used to be found at the beach with a bong and a peace pipe. Those who know, know. In my early days on the island, when I walked with my environmental signs to raise awareness about trash, I also carried cannabis flags with me because I used to be an activist before it became medicinally available. Cannabis was deeply woven into my life. But I have been on this beautiful journey of self discipline, of removing my many layers of conformity, of rewiring my mind in positive ways, of reclaiming my sovereignty over my inner world. And in the beginning stages of removing my layers of conformity, one of my first layers 10 years ago was alcohol. And I will make a video of that. So make sure to subscribe, baby. But unlike alcohol, which I see as a poison, I really don't see many problems with cannabis, because I see it as a powerful teacher and medicine. And cannabis was indeed my teacher. It helped me become more mindful, more introspective, more present. It showed me how to observe my thoughts instead of being consumed by them. It helped me soften, it helped me heal, and because cannabis is nature, it helped me connect more to nature, more deeply to myself. It also helped me focus more, get more creative, and gave me the energy to continue cleaning the beaches and walking with my signs for the last 13 years. In my life, I found it to be far more positive than negative. And it was also medicine for me, especially because I carry trauma from being shot at the beach for recording a family leaving their trash in the beach 7 years ago. And you could hear about that story in another video, link in the description. But cannabis helped me calm my nervous system. It gave me space to process my thoughts. It allowed me to sit with my emotions without being overwhelmed. And it also helped me with stress. I also used it to self-regulate, to calm my nerves and slow my racing mind. But over time, I had to learn how to regulate on my own, to sit with myself, to process my emotions, to breathe through discomfort without anything external. And that was the real lesson cannabis taught me. We often reach for substances, distractions, or routines to make ourselves feel calm, happy, or okay. But true freedom comes when we learn to regulate from within, when we can meet our nervous system with awareness, patience, and presence. When we can hold our emotions without fear and face discomfort without running from it. That is how we reclaim our power. And this is how we step fully into ourselves. And after all this time smoking, I came to a realization. Cannabis had, in some ways, became nothing but a crutch, a coping mechanism. And I was done leaning on that crutch. One day I woke up with a jar full of cannabis sitting on my table. And I said to myself, you know what? Enough, enough. And I didn't have a last day, a last hurrah. No, screw it. I'm just going to smoke all of this today moment. I just decided I was going to enjoy my day without it. And that one day turned into two, and then a week, and then a month. And now here we are, a whole year later. And through all those months with the jar sitting on my table, it just sat there beckoning me. It was like saying, smoke me, smoke me. Come on, you know you want to smoke me. But every time that I heard that voice, I chose discipline over impulse, presence over habit, freedom over comfort. We have the willpower to do the same. What we often lack is discipline. We tell ourselves over and over again, I can't do it. And the mind starts believing it. But you are the creator of your own reality. Change the story you tell yourself, and you will start changing your life. And you know, I also practice mindfulness and breath work. And over time, those became my substitutes. The truth is, when I got high, I always felt very similar to how I am in my natural state. Smoking had simply become part of my programming. It was a routine my mind learned to rely on, a pattern my nervous system got comfortable with. And in some ways, it became my escape, my regulator, my pause button. And that is how the cycle forms. It slowly becomes all that we know. We wake up, we wake and bake. We go throughout the whole day smoking. We light up, we celebrate, to relax, to cope, to avoid, to numb, to feel, to not feel. Eventually it becomes automatic, like a nervous twitch. Not even a conscious choice anymore. Just something the body does before the mind even checks in. That is when you start to realize it is no longer about enjoyment. It's about conditioning. It becomes a loop, a pattern, a familiar comfort zone that quietly cages us. Not because cannabis is bad, but because dependence in any form teaches the nervous system that peace, calm, creativity comes from something outside of us. And yet, all those things already live deep within us. When I started to replace smoking with breath work, presence, movement, stillness, I began to remember that my body already knows how to regulate itself. My mind already knows how to slow down. My heart already knows how to feel deeply. Cannabis did not give me those states. It simply reminded me they existed. And once I remembered that I no longer needed that reminder, and once I remembered that I no longer needed the reminder. We live in a world constantly chasing dopamine. We want to feel good, to feel high, to feel something more, something better. So we look outside of ourselves. Substances, stimulation, distractions, constant input. We want to keep raising our dopamine levels, chasing that next hit, chasing the next escape, that next peak. But the truth is, we could do that naturally. It is a state of mind through presence, through breath, through movement, through creativity, through stillness, through connection with nature. through purpose, through meaning, and through discipline. The problem is we were never taught how to use it. We were never shown how to feel deeply without numbing, how to breathe through discomfort without running, how to create, how to play, how to focus, to celebrate without substances, how to connect with nature, with our bodies, with our minds, and actually trust ourselves. From a young age, we're conditioned to seek outside stimulation, to get dopamine hits from screens, sugar, alcohol, drugs, validation. We are taught that happiness comes from consumption, distractions, escape, not from presence, not from mastery of our own inner world. And because of that, many of us never learn the most important skill of all: how to generate joy, calm, and creativity from within, how to regulate our own nervous system, how to rise above the cycle of craving and routine. Cannabis reminded me of this truth. It didn't give me freedom, it showed me that I already had it. If I could just learn to tap into it. And that lesson is something almost no one teaches us: how to harness your own biology, your own mind, and your own body to live fully and powerfully. And once I remembered that, I didn't need the reminder anymore. The teacher had done its job, the tool had done its work, and all that was left was me standing fully in myself, creating my own state of mind. And that is what these substances like cannabis and mushrooms should be used for: tools to expand our consciousness further, but not to abuse or rely on. They are like training wheels on your journey to assist you further. And ultimately, I live this holistic lifestyle because I see my body as a temple. And here I was treating my sacred body like a chimney, filling my lungs with smoke, making it the air I breathe, the air that I knew. And honestly, this was the main reason that I stopped. Sure, we might think it's harmless, but all that smoke is just not good for our bodies. It was a constant strain on my lungs, my energy, and my vitality. Every inhale was a reminder that I wasn't fully honoring myself, that I was letting a habit dictate how I felt physically. I realized that true freedom and presence starts with treating your body with care, respect, and love. Breathing clean air became an act of reclaiming my health, my energy, and my clarity. But now I choose to breathe in this fresh air of Bordiquen. Now I choose to get high off the beauty of life. And maybe in the future I will consume cannabis, but in the form of tea or edibles if I decide to do so. If I do, I won't abuse it like I did smoking cannabis nonstop throughout the day. But for now, I am happy, I am present, I am living my life fully sober. Now, do I miss it? Sure, of course. I miss it sometimes. But you know what? I'm enjoying this high I get being out here in nature now, in my breath. Every breath of wind, every sound of the trees, every feeling of the sun on my skin. It's a high that no substance could match. If this video spoke to you, take a moment today to honor your own power. You have the ability to reclaim your mind, your body, your freedom. You don't need anything outside of yourself to feel alive, present, or whole. Start small. Take one breath, one step, one choice toward being fully responsible for your own life. Discipline, awareness, and presence are the true tools of freedom, and they are already deep inside of you. So go out there, wild things, rise fully into your own power because you got this, baby. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and please leave any comments down below. I would love to hear from you all. Let's get philosophical. Visit me on all social media at Radically Wild and my website on my blog, radicallywild.com. Stay wild, everyone. Ooh, ha.